देवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवी सरस्वती व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी Randraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So we're reading Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 20th chapter, titled as Kapila Dev's Instructions on Devotional Service to Mata Devahuti. So Kapila Dev is instructing to Mata Devahuti how one can progress in the life of bhakti. So as we learned in the previous shloka, shloka number 3, Kapila Dev is saying to Mata Devahuti that if one really wants to progress in the spiritual life, then one has to be performing devotional service without material motives. So Kapila Dev is saying, Gramya dharma nivrittischa moksha dharma ratistatha mitamedhya danam shashvad vivikta kshema shevanam. So one should cease performing conventional religious practices and should be attracted to those which lead to the salvation. One should eat very frugally and should always remain secluded so that he can achieve the highest perfection of life. So, it is recommended here that religious practices for the economic development, for the material gains, for the sense gratification should be avoided. So, all the religious activities which we perform should be towards service of Krishna. It is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam that the topmost religious practice is by which one can achieve love for God, Krishna Prema. So, religious practice should not be performed for the material activities, but for the achieving the love for Godhead. That is called as moksha dharma. And the next important part mentioned in this sloka is Mita Medhya Danam. Mita Medhya Danam means one should eat very minimal just to keep the body and soul together. And Srila Prabhupada ji recommends here that if you can eat, say, 1 pound of food, that is your appetite, then one should eat only half pound, half of the food should be eaten. So, whatever is your capacity, eat half of that with the food. Remaining half, out of the remaining half, 25% of that remaining half uh, like should be with the water or liquid, and remaining half, so one fourth liquid, one fourth air, and remaining half only with the food. That is our stomach. That's how we should use the diet. Then we can be happy and healthy. If we keep on eating and filling the stomach with all sorts of food, then we will not be happy and healthy. Further, Kapila Dev is saying to Mata Devati what should be the lifestyle while performing the bhakti. So here Kapila Dev is saying in the fourth sloka, Ahimsa Satyam Asteyam Yavad Artha Parigraha Brahmacharyam Tapa Saucham Swadhyaya Purusharchanam. So here Kapila Dev is saying to Mata Devati that the lifestyle of a devotee should be like one should practice non-violence. One should not kill any living entities. One should be truthful. Ahimsa, which means non-violence. Satyam. Satyam means very truthful. Should avoid thieving. Asteyam, theft, should not steal the stuff. Yavad Yavad Artha means accumulating wealth as much as required, not too much. So be satisfied with possessing as much as required for the maintenance of the body. Yavad Artha Parigraha, then Brahmacharyam, celibacy, avoiding the sexual activities. Tapaha Saucham, tapa means austerity, performing the austerities. Getting up early in the morning, doing pranayam, doing meditation, doing japa. Tapaha means austerity. Saucham means cleanliness. One should be clean outside and inside. Outside cleanliness means taking a shower, and inside cleanliness means chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Swadhyayam means one should study the Vedic literature regularly. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. And Purusha Archanam, worshipping Supreme Personality of Godhead. So these are the recommended habits for the Krishna conscious lifestyle. So Srila Prabhupada is explaining here this verse very nicely. Prabhupada is saying, the word Purusha Archanam in this verse means worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, especially the form of Lord. So Archa Vigraha Seva, it is very important. Deity worship. In Bhagavad Gita, it is confirmed by Arjuna that Krishna is the original Purusha or personality of Godhead, Purusha Shashvatam. Therefore, in yoga practice, one not only must concentrate his mind on the person of Krishna, but must worship the form or a deity of Krishna daily. Daily deity worship. My Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj, used to worship deities every day, deity worship. Archanam, deity of Krishna every day. Very important. A brahmachari practices celibacy, controlling the sexual life. One cannot enjoy unrestricted sex life and practice yoga. That is not proper. So yogis advertise that one can go enjoying as one likes and simultaneously become a yogi. But this is totally unauthorized. It is clearly stated, explained here, that one must observe celibacy. Brahmacharya means that one leads his simply in relationship with Brahman or in full Krishna consciousness. Those who are addicted to the sex life cannot observe the regulations which will lead them to Krishna consciousness. So, Srila Prabhupada is stressing here that our lifestyle should be very much controlled. The word asteyam is very significant for a yogi. Asteyam means to refrain from theft and not to steal from others. Now, here Srila Prabhupada is explaining the word theft. In the broader sense, everyone who accumulates more than he needs is a thief, because everything belongs to Krishna, and if you accumulate more than what you need, it is a theft. According to spiritual communism, one cannot possess more than he needs for his personal maintenance. That is the law of nature. Anyone who accumulates more money or more possession than he needs is called as a thief. And one who simply accumulates wealth without spending for sacrifice or for worship of Supreme Personality of Godhead is a great thief, right? So, if you accumulate more than required, that is a theft. And if you have excess, then you can use it for service of Krishna, for the welfare of everyone. Then next part of the lifestyle is Swadhyayam, which means reading the authorized Vedic scriptures. Daily we should read Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Even if one is not Krishna conscious and is practicing yoga, he must read standard Vedic literature in order to understand. So daily reading is very important. Performance of yoga alone is not sufficient. Narottam Das Thakur, a great devotee and acharya in Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, says that all the spiritual activities should be understood from three sources. What are the three sources? So, Sadhu, Shastra, and Guru, namely saintly persons, Vedic literature, which is standard Vedic literature, and Guru, spiritual master. These three guides are very, very important for spiritual life. Sadhu, Shastra, and Guru is very important for spiritual life. The spiritual master prescribes standard literature for prosecution of yoga of devotional service, and he himself speaks only from the scriptural reference. So, a spiritual master also follows the disciplic succession. He will not manufacture anything. He will just say what previous acharyas have conveyed through the Vedic literature. Therefore, reading such standard scripture is necessary for executing yoga. So, one should read from authoritative sources like Srila Prabhupada books are best authoritative source available on the planet because it does not dilute the purpose of original teachings. Practicing yoga without reading standard Vedic literature is simply waste of time. So if you do not read Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam and one declares, oh, I am a great person, then that is a wastage of time because one has to read authoritative sources. So just to summarize here today's verse with Kapila Dev is explaining to Mata Devhuti that certain virtues must be practiced in Bhakti Yoga. And what are those virtues? First one is non-violence, ahimsa. Second is satyam, truthfulness. Third is asteyam, refraining from theft or accumulating more than what is required. One should be content with whatever one obtains by the hard work. So, yavad artha parigraha. So, one should only possess what is necessary and be content. Celibacy, brahmacharya, it is very important part of bhakti. Then austerity, tapa, self-discipline, minimalism in lifestyle is very important. Saucham, cleanliness is very important. Swadhyayam, study of the Vedic literature is very important. Then Purusha Archanam, deity worship, worshipping form of Krishna is very important. So these are all the lifestyle related changes required for progress of bhakti. With that, we'll pause here. We'll continue our study of Srimad Bhagavatam tomorrow. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Prema.